Well, we all know that the Premier League is on the pause up to the 30th. That's when United is going to be playing against Brentford. And we have some huge news of Lisandro Martinez return very close, as confirmed to us by sources close to Manchester United. Welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I'm coming with the Liverpool preview, the FA Cup that is going to be played on Sunday. And we're here to obviously understand that a lot is really on stake by the club of Man United. We are also going to be talking Kobbie Mainoo being left out of the England national team squad selection, and then the manager of England, that is Gary Southgate, is going to come in through and really told us exactly what it's really the reason for him really keeping a player of that caliber out of this time in here onto the United Matters channel. Now then there is something that's going to obviously annoy the fans of Man United as far as the season ticket holders are really concerned, and it's a decision made by the club of Man United, and I don't know how far it's really gonna go. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Continue to subscribe because we want to hit that magic number of 17,000 subscribers, right? The Muslims, Ramadan Mubarak. The Christians, we cover you only the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and may the living to God bless you abundantly in there for you. Lisandro Martinez is the one leading this podcast, telling us that Lisandro Martinez is set to finalize his recovery from a knee injury with Argentina, but he will not play for Lionel Scaloni's side during the international break. This was dropped by the Athletic, and you know exactly that even when we were going to play against, was it Arsenal, after the international before the international break, he found himself training with Argentina and he never really featured there. So United have gone ahead to see to it that Lisandro Martinez goes ahead to finalize from his knee recovery with Argentine national team. And we know how South American players miss home. These are kind of players that have gone ahead to miss home for a very long time. And this is where Lisandro Martinez comes in through to take center stage to put in his shift and obviously demands to go back from home. And for we who believe in a lot of things, that sometimes you need to go back home and really your ancestors really have a look at you and blessings from your father and mother. And I think Lisandro Martinez needs this. I remember it when Gabriel Jesus was nearing his return after his 3-4 months knee injury from the World Cup. He went ahead to obviously go to Brazil for like 2 weeks, and then he returned. And even when he really had an injury and he was really getting back, he went ahead and really trained with Brazil for like 1 week and really played in the game against Brazil and I think the game against Colombia. So the game against Argentina and the game against Colombia. That is what they do. So these are South Americans miss their homes a lot. Amidst them really having part of their families with him in England, it reaches an extent when they are missing their own and being in Brazil to refresh. And for Lisandro Martinez, it's really gonna be good for us, and I think this is really a huge boost that is gonna lead to us to the following. If at all he was really seriously injured and was not really close to return, then it would have gonna to be hard for us to really get this update coming in through from Lolly Whitwell that Lisandro Martinez will return to the first team action for Manchester United against Brentford on 30th March. Now, our first Premier League game out of the 10 that we are supposed to win is going to be starting onto the 30th of March, and the team you're going to be playing against is Brentford away from home. Brentford made it hard for Arsenal, if at all you watched that game of football very well, on Saturday, but Arsenal went ahead to leave it late with a header coming in through from Kai Havertz. After that, the rest has been history, and lots of things have gone ahead to happen in favor of the side of Arsenal. Now, Laurie Whitwell is a correspondent for Man United at The Athletic, has come out and confirmed to us that his return could really come in through when you're playing against Brentford. What a boost! What a boost! I'm one of those people that I'm always going to let you know that all we need is simple. Let's get these players back and see to it that we really fight hard and really win most of our remaining games that we're going to be playing in the Premier League. Remember, we are left with 10 games to play in the Premier League. You know, I know you're having Brentford, there is Sheffield, there is Burnley, there is Chelsea, there is Liverpool, there is Arsenal, Which other side? There is Newcastle. We haven't played against Newcastle. We have to play Bournemouth away. So those are the teams that we are left with. Some of the 10 teams that we are left with. Brighton is also in the mix. We have to play about Brighton. But having Lisandro Martinez back for those games, it's a really, really huge breath of fresh air in the squad of Man United. Because you now know that you are having Bissaka, you are having Lisandro Martinez, you are having Mason Mount, you are having Lisandro Martinez, you are also having Antoine Martial. Those are 5 players returning, and if at all those 5 will return, that means our team is really getting what we call a perfect shape. That means we'll be having Andre Onana in goal, Bissaka right back, left back is gonna be Dallo, or even Malacia will be back. I think in the next 2 weeks he might really force himself back on the field of play and really play in the last 10 games of the season. Then central defense, Lisandro Martinez, left-sided centre back, playing alongside Rafael Varane as a right-sided centre back. Then in the midfield we'll be having Casemiro and Kobbie Mainoo, Bruno Fernandes, Garnacho, Rashford, and Rasmus Højlund leading the line. And the bench will be really to reach, because you'll be having Antoine Martial, you'll be having Anthony, Amad Diallo, Mason Mount, Amrabat, name it. So that is the beauty of really having these players back. And for Lisandro Martinez, I'm really excited that he cannot really feature in the game of Liverpool, because for me, if you tell me winning the FA Cup and qualifying for the Champions League next season, it is something simple I go with. I choose playing the Champions League next season because the FA Cup does not even get you the amount of money you get when you just qualify for the Champions League, and you know where the big boys are. And next season, I think we are going to be a different team altogether. We are going to be finding possible players that are not going to be injured for a very long time, and even when they are injured, their replacements will be worth their coverage. So I'm really excited for Lisandro Martinez, and I really want to see him play for the club of Man United. Remember, yesterday I brought a video. Rasmus Højlund is going to be fit for the game of Liverpool. Bissaka the same. Harry Maguire the same. It's a triple. It's a trio boost coming in through from those players. And you never know, apart from Lisandro Martinez and Mason Mount, we might really get Tyrell Malacia back, and that will be another triple boost for the club of Man United. And I think the end justifies the means. Aston Villa is 8 points ahead of Man United, you know, and Spurs is 6 points ahead of Man United. They win their game in hand that they're going to play on over the weekend. They go 9 points ahead of Man United, and they'll be fourth. So we don't know how it's going to happen. But even Aston Villa will be playing over the weekend, because I think Aston Villa won't be playing because they're still, I think they're knocked out of the FA Cup, not so? So they won't be playing into the mix. So, for Manchester United, against Liverpool, let's not force this guy back. Let's give him all what he deserves. And what does he deserve? Ample time for him to return. And when he returns, the rest will be history for the haters in here onto the United Matters channel. So we just can't wait to see Lisandro Martinez return in the first team of Man United. And we all know that when you're playing against Man City, Ten Hag traveled with him in the squad of Man United and and Rasmus Højlund. So it shows you how close he is, and I just can't wait to see this man return, because I want us to play in the Champions League. With that squad, we can go 10 games unbeaten. You also eat that. We lost our first game of the season after we lost our first game in this calendar year after Lisandro Martinez was out. Rasmus Højlund was out, Luke Shaw was out, you know. We lost to Fulham 2-1 and to Man City 3-1. But if they return, that will be something great. I think we can put up a very good chase, because I think Tottenham Hotspur and Aston Villa cannot really stand the pressure coming in from Man United. If we put in what we call a third gear, I don't think they will obviously qualify, because both Spurs and Tottenham Hotspur have to play against Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man City. Trust me, the best they can get, if they get 3 draws, that means they're going to hit to drop 6 points. And if I know they drop 6 points when you're winning, that means Man United is going to close down to Aston Villa, and Aston Villa will be 2 points ahead of Man United, and Spurs will be 3 points ahead of Man United. in any game, they can make a mistake if at all they reach that ilk. And I tell you, they might even lose all those 9 points, one of those two teams. And, there is even a fifth spot that can see us go to the Champions League. But I've always told you, I've always wanted to go ahead and really take the 4th spot. Amidst us knowing that even the 5th spot is really clear for the English side, because we have, what do we have? We've gone ahead to have Arsenal and Man City go through to the quarterfinals, and the Champions League draws are going to be held tomorrow. So that's exactly what you're waiting for in here for you. But Lisandro Martinez is a very big boss, and I've gone ahead to give you my reasons as why I think he should obviously be put to a rest until the return against Brentford. And I think against Brentford, you can also win away without him. But I know the manager will assess him and see whether he's ready to play. But I know it might be Harry Maguire and Varane, because Varane is going to be resting for all of that time, like 2 weeks. Harry Maguire will be really fighting for his match fitness in the friendlies that England is going to play against Brazil and Spain. So as those friendlies coming through, we expected Kobbie Mainoo to really be included into the team of England, but he has not gotten that nod into the first 11 of England, or into the first team squad of England. And the manager is going ahead to give us the stats or the reason as to why he hasn't gone ahead to obviously put him there. He has said he's doing brilliantly for a young player. We never slow to put a young player into the seniors, but he's only had a handful of games. He's getting some fabulous experience at Man United. He looks really good. He looks really good character. He really looks like he has a good character. And obviously, however much he's not included into this, all he has to do is simple: continuing to play into the team of Man United. And I think the return of Lisandro Martinez will give Kobbie Mainoo the best, because we'll be having a press-resistant defender who is obviously going to really be used as a reference point into that central defense to really create more and more and more and more and more and more of those passes through the central axis. And you know who is always in the central axis? It's always Casemiro and Kobbie Mainoo, meaning that Kobbie Mainoo will be put so much into action as compared to when Lisandro Martinez is really out. And the return of the fullback, that will be having a very good back four, and Man United will always and always on several occasions coming through to do the needful. And for me, I know he still has his slot to go in the Euros, because when you look at the team of England, they'll have to do the needful to really take in a player like him, because he's really, 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 really exceptional. He's very exceptional, and I know he's still making more shocking appearances on the field of play, and his performances are really gonna be good. He's a vertical player, and he's really one of those players that you have to look at and really understand. But I know Gareth Southgate might have gone ahead to really have a call with Erik ten Hag. If you remember Ten Hag and what he said when Garnacho was included into the probable World Cup squad of Argentina in 2022, on what he said it's still young for him to obviously go ahead and really be included into the squad of Argentina to play the World Cup, because that will kill his aims and his ambitions. Now, it's like if you take Kobbie Mainoo into the English senior team, maybe he'll say, it's done for me. This has been my dream. But Ten Hag is like, let this boy grow gradually, because he's still young. You know, the Euros are going to be in 2024 this year, and the World Cup is going to be happening in 2026. So if you are Kobbie Mainoo, they ask you, which two tournaments would you like to play in first? I think Kobbie Mainoo will say, all right, let me wait and play in the World Cup, because you'll be having 2 seasons to prove to the manager of England that I'm really ready, you know. Now, if we qualify for the Champions League, that's why I want us to qualify for the Champions League next season, such that Kobbie Mainoo can prove himself in the Champions League at that age, because next year he's going to be 19 years of age, and he'll play in the Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and the Premier League, and will obviously get himself to the levels where everyone wants him to be. And I think that will be the best way. But I think the manager is trying to really buy some time, because I think there is another phase of friendlies and so much more. And if at all Kobbie Mainoo continues to be consistent, he's really going to be doing the needful. And he's one of those players that we are all looking at when we are hosting Liverpool at Old Trafford on Sunday. That is it. Now, we go to the last story that is going to have to be brought to us by Mike Keegan of the Mail Sport, that Manchester United have been accused of acting beyond parody after telling long-serving ticket holders they would have to shift from their seats at Old Trafford for academy players because a side view is optimal for their development and future performance. Now, these fans just have to understand what Man United is doing, because they are doing this for the future view of the club of Man United, and this is all the science in football, you know. That means it's the best view, and I know the fans are not gonna be really left well. They will really come out through and really say, all right, we never really deserved that, we deserved better. But I think it's the best for the young talent, because these season holders pay this money for these young ones obviously coming through, and we're gonna have to see how much they really love the youngsters for the side of Man United. So guys, thank you very much for watching. To tell me your thoughts about Lisandro Martinez return very close, and he might be returning against Brentford, and we just can't wait to see him return, and if at all he can keep himself fit for the last 10 games of the season, then that will be really great for us. And what do you make about that? Then Kobbie Mainoo left out of the England national team squad. Southgate has gone here to really give us an explanation as to why he has gone here to do that. What do you make about it? And last, the seats and the season ticket holders of Man United feeling really pissed. Rokan David remains my name. A sign out for now. Continue to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And I hope let's see close to 200 likes matching this video as we welcome Lisandro Martinez back from injury. What a boost. And tell me what your predictions are now, if at all Lisandro Martinez is available for the last 10 games, right? For the last 10 games of the season of the Premier League for the club of Man United. Will we complete in the top 4 positions of the league? All that and more into the comment section below. Ramadan Mubarak, and the Christians, may the living to God bless you abundantly. I'm out.